Despite Mario Golf Super Rush only having sped onto the Switch this past week, people already have their polos in a knot over whether or not the character roster is complete. A little birdie at E3 informed us that DLC, new golfers of course included, is still a fair way away, which leaves us with just enough time to lay up a prediction or two on who is to come. Will we ace each prediction, or whiff them all together? Who knows, but here we go! If Super Rush follows in Tennis Ace's example, which it seems to have thus far, our measly 16-character roster will expand to a cast of 30 over the course of about 2 years. Given Super Rush's 5 different character types, all around, control, speed, spin, and power, we're likely to get 6 characters of each type, or at least my administratively addled mind would hope so. Currently, we have 3 balancing acts, 3 control freaks, 4 speedsters, 2 spinsters, and 4 powerhouses. And I think I have just the controller in mind. Out of all the potential future contenders Super Rush has in store, 2 in particular are perhaps the most obvious inclusions: Birdo and Toadette. For anyone who has not yet had the pleasure of bunking in Bonnie Greens, both of these characters act as either caretakers or companions during the tutorial levels. When you've got in-game models, dialogue, and your name on the scoreboards, I think we can all agree that you've been put in a good position for DLC. Out of the 2, however, there's one who edged out their opponent.
Yay! I won!
With Toadette already serving as a rival in the game's story mode, it comes as no surprise that she would show up as a playable character too. While plenty of your enemies are comprised of generic creatures, Toadette is one of, if not the only individual character to be excluded from the physical roster. It's time we change that, don't you think? For this lineup, I listed Toadette as a control-type character. Our girl's stats have spanned from all-inclusive to technique-centric to speed-oriented, meaning literally anything was fair game. But seeing as how she prided herself on being capable of conquering any situation within the plot itself, I figured giving her a stat set that reflected her control of the course would be best. With her basic club set, Toadette provides the best control out of any character in the game. However, to offset this and showcase her consistently abysmal strength, she drives the ball the shortest range out of any character in the game. Her speed is outshined only by her male counterpart, since Toadette is weighed down with the burden of having to populate her entire species by herself. Her spin, however, also begins subpar in comparison to her control-type counterparts, but fear not, that all changes as soon as she advances to her star club set. With the star clubs in play, Toadette's spin increases by 3, putting her on an even playing field with Pauline, but remaining below Toad and Peach. Her superior control, however, gives her an advantage, as this stat continues to decrease with each club set upgrade, regardless of a character's typing. But hey, at least she can hit the ball as far as King Bob-omb normally can now. That's something, right? With the superstar clubs out to bat, Toadette finally catches up to her competitors in terms of spin, even if her power is still outclassed all around. One can only hope her speed will win the day. For her special shot, Toadette demonstrates the strength of the Super Pickax. The Super Pickaxe served as a vital tool during Captain Toad and Toadette's archaeological digs, allowing the two to destroy bricks at a rapid rate. Here, Toadette can use it to wreak havoc on the golf course. When the ability is activated, Toadette pulls out a Super Pickaxe and grips its handle for dear life. The hammer takes over from there, propelling her forward towards the golf ball. The pickaxe cracks the land, rocketing the ball skyward across the golf course. Upon landing, a troop of mushrooms sprouts throughout the surrounding area. But watch your step. Those shrooms? Why, they're poisonous. Any character that comes into contact with them will have their stamina drained at an expedited rate for a short period of time. Toadette's special dash harkens back to her initial appearance in Mario Kart Double Dash. What better way to honor the old than bringing back a classic, the Toadette Kart? Or rather, a modified version of it. With one leap and a whistle, this decked-out golf cart comes roaring across the field just in time to seat Toadette as she lands. Toadette shoves her signature gold mushroom into the engines and lets the cart speed through the course as quickly as possible. While its acceleration is nothing to scoff at, its handling leaves a lot to be desired. best to keep it straight and out of the sand. That sums up how I envision Toadette's eventual inclusion in the Super Rush roster. As for when she becomes available, I would wager to say she'd tee off first, or at least within the first initial rounds of DLC. She would arguably require the least work out of any potential character, and her appearance within the game already has people chomping at the bit to play as her, so why wait? I can only hope they soup her up with a customized outfit though. Fashion is just as important as gameplay, you know, and after tennis aces, I have high expectations for whatever this mushroom wears, as long as it's not a super crown. But that's enough blabbering from me. Now it's your turn to talk. Would you want Toadette to be playable in Super Rush? Do you expect her to be, whether you want her or not? And how do you imagine she'd play? Whatever the case, go ahead and scribble down a comment below. I get a kick out of conversing with you all. Keep an eye out for more DLC character predictions in the near future. But until we get to adventure together again, go act heroic in your own communities. Soon enough, you'll be welcomed home once more.